Alcohol is not just a drink, but one of the oldest companions of mankind. It has witnessed great historical events, inspired poets and artists, and caused wars and revolutions. From Sumerian beer to modern craft cocktails, let's take a fascinating journey through the history of alcohol and find out how it has influenced our civilization. The first mention of alcohol takes us back thousands of years. The Sumerians, who lived 6,000 years ago, not only brewed beer, but also considered it a sacred drink. They even prayed to Ninkasi, the goddess of brewing, who, in their opinion, granted people this wonderful drink. Did you know that the Sumerians paid their workers with beer? It was a kind of currency that helped build great cities and temples. In ancient Egypt, beer and wine weren't just drinks, they were part of the culture and religion. Pharaohs sent not only gold and jewelry, but also jugs of wine to the afterlife, and Egyptian doctors used beer as a cure for many diseases. By the way, the Egyptians knew more than 17 varieties of beer, and each of them had its own unique flavor and purpose. In China, huangjiu, a fermented drink made from rice, was brewed as early as 9,000 years ago. Legend has it that it was invented by accident when forgotten rice fermented in an earthen vessel. The Chinese believed that this drink had magical powers and helped to communicate with spirits. The ancient Greeks and Romans took alcohol consumption to a new level. In Greece, wine was a symbol of civilization. It was drunk diluted with water, and at feasts, symposia, philosophers, poets, and politicians discussed important issues. By the way, the word symposium literally means drinking together. Imagine Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle sitting with goblets of wine discussing the meaning of life. The Romans went even further. They not only perfected winemaking, but also made wine a part of their empire. Roman legions spread vineyards all over Europe, and Roman aristocrats organized sumptuous feasts where wine poured down the river. By the way, it was the Romans who invented wine storage barrels, which are still in use today. In the Middle Ages, alcohol became the business of monasteries. Monks not only prayed, but also brewed beer, made wine, and invented liqueurs. For example, the famous Benedictine liqueur was created by Benedictine monks in the 16th century. They claimed that the recipe was given to them from above. By the way, the monks believed that beer is liquid bread, which helps to fast because it is nutritious, but does not break the fast. At the same time, beer became a staple drink in Europe, as the water was often contaminated. Some cities even had strict beer laws. For example, in Germany in the 15th century, the law on the purity of beer was issued to regulate its composition. Violators were severely punished. Their beer was simply poured into the street. But in the Middle East and Central Asia, alcohol production was restricted because of Islamic laws. However, Arab alchemists made a huge contribution to the development of distillation. It was they who created the first distillation apparatuses, which later became the basis for the production of spirits in Europe. During the Age of the Great Discovery, alcohol became part of world trade. The Caribbean region began to produce rum, which became not only a popular drink, but also a currency. Rum was used to pay sailors and even became an important element of the triangular trade between Europe, Africa, and the Americas. In Russia at this time, mass production of vodka began. Interestingly, vodka was originally used as medicine and later became a national drink. And in America, settlers began to produce whiskey, which became a symbol of independence and rebellious spirit. The 20th century brought new challenges for the alcohol industry. In the United States in the 1920s, prohibition was introduced, which prohibited the production and sale of alcohol. But this only spurred illegal production and smuggling. Bootleggers like Al Capone became the real kings of the underworld. And in the USSR in 1985, a dry law was introduced, which had unexpected consequences. People began to brew moonshine, and sugar became a scarce commodity. However, at the same time, new technologies of alcohol production appeared. Distilleries became large enterprises, and the quality of drinks was strictly regulated. Cult brands such as Jack Daniel's, Absolut, and Moet and Chandon emerged, which are still symbols of luxury and style. Today, the alcohol industry is experiencing a new round of development. Craft beer, art wines, unique cocktails, all this has become a part of modern culture. New technologies, such as fermentation with the use of artificial intelligence, and unusual flavor combinations, such as beer with the addition of coffee or chocolate, are emerging. At the same time, soft drinks are growing in popularity. Modern technologies make it possible to create non-alcoholic beer and wine that taste almost identical to the originals. This is especially important for those who care about health, but do not want to give up their favorite flavors. The history of alcohol is the history of mankind. From ancient rituals to modern bars, it remains a constant part of our lives. But what will its future be? Perhaps new drinks will emerge that we can't even imagine. Or will non-alcoholic alternatives replace traditional spirits altogether? Or maybe we'll go back to our roots and start brewing beer according to ancient recipes again. Which drink is your favorite? Share in the comments, put a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss new exciting stories. See you in the next episodes.